Hi, welcome to the Man United Agenda. We've just beaten Norwich 1-0, my favourite scoreline. Let's go. Yo, I'm OMONDI Juma here from the Man United Agenda. I'm here with the commentary team. You've jumped on from one show to the next. Mr. B, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. One thing I have to say.
A bit louder, a bit more. I know you've been speaking a lot for the last couple of hours in the show.
One thing I need to say.
Yep.
I don't know how you're calling these 1-0s, bro. A Ranić come in and you're getting the results right. And I'm sitting there watching the game. Before the game, I'm saying there's no chance it's going to be won. And as the game's going on, the more you look at it, the more you're watching it. I'm thinking, Jesus, on Monday's going to call it again. 90 minutes to come off on the clock. You call it again.
Unfortunately, I didn't call it. Since he's come in now, I'm thinking we can beat this team 3-4-0. But yeah, 1-0 is a good game. We won the game 1-0, managed the game, saw it out, control. Everything was good. But I think you've got a different opinion. So we're going to go through this now. We're going to have a little discussion. First of all, point number one, Mr. B, I'm asking you the starting lineup and the personnel. Are you happy with the personnel that started this game?
Yeah, absolutely delighted with the starting of the personnel. Everybody who started is a team that I would have called. There was nothing. The formation was absolutely fine.
So what about Dalot? Because obviously now Dalot seems to be like number one at right back. Wan-Bissaka, maybe he's injured from the other day when crashing into the sideboard there. But do you think Dalot is sort of proving himself as the new guy in this sort of shape and under Ralph?
At the moment, he's got the shot and he's keeping hold of it. What he's doing going forward, we already know Wan-Bissaka can't do. And that's the problem Wan-Bissaka's got. Maybe if he had started in the games, maybe he could have tried to adapt. But we've seen Wan-Bissaka going forward and crossing the halfway line, and we haven't been impressed. What I will say again, you've called it again. You've been championing Dalot before the season started. We were all saying Wan-Bissaka. You sat here and it's proving. You're proving. What's the word? I'm not even going to try and remember what the word is or try.
Prophetic.
That's the one. Yes. That's the one. So yeah, I'll hold up both of my hands to you at the moment on Monday because it's Dalot and the 1-0s. So what you said?
Dalot surely he's proven himself to be like a good player. I think people really sort of rejected him. This is to say, I don't know what performance, but something must have happened along the line. Say, oh, he's not good enough, or he's not a Man United player. This is the kind of decision that was made in a lot of fans' hearts. But I'm so pleased he can actually get a run in now and prove himself to the fans. He's, that's 2 games now that he's played, or the 3rd game now under Ralph. No, 2nd game under Ralph, and he seems to be a first-team starter. So balance there. What about Telles at left back as well? Because these are, like you say, these are 2 new additions. You said you're happy with the personnel, but this is a new kind of fullback system. Telles, were you happy with him coming in?
Yeah, Telles is not an issue. What I would like to see is the Luke Shaw of last season in this formation. That's what I want to see. I'm not sure if we will see it, but he seems like he's dropped off a cliff on Monday.
Yeah. We were doing a show the other day, and Jay Motti, he was saying the same thing. He asked the question, what's gone wrong with Luke Shaw? I mean, what do you think it is? What's your insight into that?
I mean, a lot of people are saying, your Euros burnout, but surely if you play how you play in the Euros, you do, regardless of if you lost in the final.
Yeah.
He had a good final. He had a good tournament. So I can't understand where the drop-off came. Could it be he thought he's made it now and he doesn't need to do what got him to that level again? Right. I don't know. I'm curious. I just don't understand what's going on.
Well, that's a character. Maybe that's a character issue where we can get in the sports psychologist or the hype man, as you would say, to say to help out for more motivation, maybe for more motivation. All right, so the second point we'll talk about is just the result. I mean, like we said, it is 1-0. It might be a bit frustrating for some people watching the game. I know you guys, you and TalkMU, done the commentary right now, and you're fresh from that. And I think sometimes when you get reflection after the game and rewatch it or sort of revise it, you might think differently. But what are your thoughts about the result, Mr. B? And do you think we were under pressure? Because 1-0 might seem like, oh, we didn't smash them. Do you think we were under pressure, or do you think, like Ralph always says, he wants control of the game and to keep the ball as far away from the goalkeeper as possible? Are we sort of demonstrating these two factors that Ralph wants in his system?
Not today. Who would you give man of the match to?
I've come on to that. I was going to say De Gea because he made a couple good saves.
Okay, right. So, the fact that De Gea is our man of the match means the ball was too, even in contemplation for being, even if he doesn't get man of the match.
Yeah.
The fact that he made one save up this side where he tipped it over the bar from Pookie's left foot. He made
that was good. That was good.
Game. I'm sure he made 3 like top draw saves in the game.
The one where the guy headed it down from the free kick or the corner. The excellent guy from SHAH, Bam, headed it down. He tapped it away. The Pookie save, and at the end there was a save from sort of close range. Was it a header again? Headed down, and he just palmed it off. So 3 of those. I recall 3 good saves on his line
that kept us in the game. So I don't think any Ranick's tactics didn't work today. Ranick's talk didn't work today.
So what about control? So that's right. I understand that about keeping away from the keeper, keeping the ball away from the keeper. I think he understands he wants to play in the opposition half. That means obviously it wasn't as conclusive maybe as Crystal Palace playing in the half, but we did have to rely on the keeper to make a couple of saves. What about control of the game? I mean, was your heart racing? Did you think that we weren't in control at any point? This is another one of Ralph's factors.
I don't think we controlled the game. I think there was opportunities they had, especially the first half. Anything over 30 yards that Norwich played, whether it was crossfield or down the line, found their man. I don't know if that's the formation that we lined up in, or it was an instruction that obviously Dean Smith, understanding that we would be playing narrow and our fullbacks would be. So the ball kept on going past him. So
right.
I don't think we had the control on Monday. Do you think we had the control in the game?
I think it's coming. This is what I want to go on to talk about. It's like I think 1-0, 2 1-0s now. One in the Premiership against Palace and now against Norwich. I do think we controlled the game. I do think we were a threat because if they would have come out more at us, we would have definitely got in behind, and that was a risk they weren't willing to take until they scored the goal. And at which point, which I'll go on to later, I found the formation changed as soon as they scored. I saw a few differences. I don't know if you observed that as well, but we come on to that. Just want to say to everyone, anyone watching, press the like button straight away, please. As soon as you log in, press the like button for us and do the thing. Just standard. Push that alarm bell as well if you can, and let's go from there. I'm just going to also just bring on my big but little brother, Kahinde. He's just come back from viewing the game with the big atmosphere. He's all there with his big chest. How you doing, Kahinde? How you doing, Kahinde?
Yeah, cool, bro. Cool.
Good. You don't seem very excited.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
You're playing it cool. So just want to go through, like we talked about the starting lineup, the personnel. Mr. B was quite happy with that. He thought that was standard. Do you agree quickly?
Yeah. Starting lineup, happy with everything, really. I've got no complaints. Want to see Donny get a bit more minutes. Apart from that, I'm happy.
Okay, just going on to the next point we said about the result. So I'm just asking a question just now to Mr. B. Were we under pressure, or was it like when Ralph wants with his two factors? He wants control of the game and he wants the ball as far away from the keeper as possible. Those two factors. So were we under pressure at all in this game, or did we have control and were we keeping it away from the keeper, as in playing in their half?
I just think from the set pieces, that's the only time Norwich looks dangerous, really. Apart from that, I don't think we're in too much trouble.
Mr. B.
OMONDI, I mean, Kounde, who would you say was our man of the match? Is that a big pause? What are you thinking?
Stop playing it cool. Who's the man of the match, Kounde?
De Gea.
Okay.
Right. So De Gea was man of the match, but they didn't threaten us in the game. You tell me how that works, bro.
Well, I just think when he was called upon to make the saves, he did. There was that's all I'm going to say, because I don't think there was like anything outstanding that Norwich did, but I think the saves he made, he saves that he should have saved, he did make those saves, and I just feel a real trust in him this season. I think his form's been really brilliant. So that's
do you see the point Mr. B's trying to say? You see the point Mr. B's trying to say?
I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, and I think there was a couple of times for me from set pieces, Norwich looked dangerous, and I felt that De Gea made some good saves during the match. But I didn't really feel that in any time during watching the game that we weren't going to get a result. I wasn't afraid that we were going to lose the game.
Okay. Speaking of results, we've had one recently at the Man United Agenda. So, guys, I want everyone to subscribe, because everyone who is subscribed, they will be entering a live draw to win a Bruno Fernandes signed shirt. And that would be lovely to put on your wall, or you can wear it yourself when you're playing football, or give it to your son for Christmas, or someone for Christmas, you know. So make sure you subscribe, please, guys. Just going to go through a few comments here, some key ones. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mark Carroll. How are you doing? He said, hey, great watch along. Brilliant, Mr. B and TalkMU. Happy with the win, but we lost the second half tactically, he's stating. And Mark Edmund, how you doing? He says, Dallo was good at both ends. Jackie also, Dallo has never been a poor player. Jose sent him away. I like Shaw, she says, and Wan-Bissaka, Tellez. So I've decided in my head I can't mix and match. She's having dilemmas. She's having dilemmas out here. Mark Edmund has said as well, we would have lost that 6 weeks ago under Ollie. That would have been.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Fred was man of the match according to Mark. That's 2 man of matches under Ralph. I think someone else gave it to him the other week. The only shot that worried him, says Mark, was that header. The other one, maybe not. So he said, so maybe we could debate whether De Gea was man of the match. 3 good saves, but that's my point. Was the philosophy to keep it as far away from them as possible? As Kounde said, maybe there's only set pieces that forced these saves, possibly. Jackie says,
this is what I'm saying, and yeah.
Jackie's saying we saw the best of De Gea, agility, unorthodox saves, strengths, anticipation, and he's fab. Mehdi says there can only be one man in the match, and that is De Gea. He was the match winner for us, and absolutely brilliant. And Dean Smith, making a fool of himself in the post-match, claims it was not a penalty. What a moron. We come on to that. Norwich had good spells in the game. They can take positives out of this match going into the next one. That's fair enough. They would deflect anything. So there's a few comments here. Just saying Ronaldo made a meal out of the penalty. I don't know. Let's move on. Well, so the next thing I want to ask, guys, is so seeing a game out. We went 1-0 up twice now against Palace and against Norwich today. And so when we've been pressing him for the whole game, and we go 1 up in the second half, as we did in both games, what are the advantages of this continued press when teams have to try and equalize against us? So, for example, would they be too tired now to get back on it? Because considering they've been on the back foot, would it be risky for them to try and attack us when, all game they've sort of been on the back foot and then we could counter them? What do you think the advantage is of this system when we go 1-0 up? Because are our hearts racing, or do we think we're locking this down? Because there's 2 clean sheets now, something we haven't had before. Mr. B.
I like clean sheets. Clean sheets give a team confidence. It gives a defense confidence. It gives something to build on. I'm just not. I know it's only been 2 games, but he's only been here a week. It seems like he's been here for a month and a half. Just by the way that I felt after the first game, the Chelsea game, it blew my mind. I'll be honest. So the results are coming. I'm not. It's 3 games. It's 3 games. Only had them playing such a turgid brand of football that when you go out, you're used to having to pass sideways. You're used to not taking a risk with a pass. I believe that those things are going to be instilled. He's getting his backroom staff in. Things are working. I just want to see faster results, but that's just me. I want to see things instantly, but it's 2 wins. We're up to 5th.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, fair enough. So same to you, Kahinde. So you think with this system we're playing, we're pressing them, we're trying to, like you said, we're trying to keep high up the pitch, away from our goalkeeper, we're trying to control the game. When we go goal up, we not seem to crumble. We're still keeping clean sheets. What are the factors behind that, do you think, that we're keeping clean sheets? As I suggested, is it because they're tired? Or is it because they're taking a risk now? They're trying to press us now or try to push forward, get on the front foot when they know we can break on them? What do you think the factors are?
I think it's to do with sorry, my reception's a bit bad. Yeah, I think it's just to do with because of our pressing, we're tiring other teams out, and when we're cramping them in their own half and all that, they don't have that second wind to press us really in the last 15 minutes, and try and really get gun ho for that goal. You talked about this a lot last season on Monday about those 1-0 wins. We just need to control the game and things like that. And this is just what we're seeing now. We're not playing spectacular, but we're getting these 1-0 wins. So when we do start to really pick up form, it's going to be a big advantage for us. But yeah, I think what it is the pressing that is tiring the other teams out, and that's why I was saying that only from the set pieces today did Norwich look dangerous. I saw one guy get over Maguire for a header and all that, and like I said, De Gea, I'm just saying, when he was called upon, he made the saves that he was supposed to make. They weren't outstanding like that one from that little far end, but where the header. But when he was called upon, catching, making the saves he was supposed to make, he did that. So I was happy with him, and I feel confident in him. So yeah, it's just set pieces really. That was all it was.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, just going on to the next point. And this is another. So we've already said about what we've heard from the horse's mouth from Ralph. He said he likes to have control of the game. When he watched that game against Arsenal, he was like, "Oh my God, we need to have control of the game and keep it away from the keeper." The other 2 factors were, which he says in his book, he's probably in his Bible. He says when we regain the ball, he wants when we lose the ball, he wants to regain it within 8 to 10 seconds. And then he also said when we do regain the ball, he wants us to have a shot on goal within 10 seconds, that kind of thing. Have we heard this? You've heard this, guys. So yeah. How close are we to doing that? Are you seeing that sort of being evidenced on the pitch just yet, Mr. B?
I don't. I'll be honest. I don't. I'm waiting. I don't think... See, his philosophy is winning the ball back in that half. The only person who wins the ball back in their half is Fred. I've been watching it. McTominay every now and then. But if we want them to steal the ball and play the ball forward quickly, Fred is the one who's adapted to Ralph's philosophy the most. Pressing wise, off the ball, I want to see more from the forwards. I look at the idea, okay, Cavani to me is the perfect player to be playing in one of those 2 positions for Ralph. His mind is already geared to doing the ugly side of football. The side that the players don't want to do, the running back, the tracking, the harrying. Rashford is a glory boy. I'm not taking nothing away from Rashford. I'm not cussing him. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just saying the ugly side of the game isn't in his mentality. And Cristiano is 37. The man scored 802 goals. He don't need to track back. He does what he needs to do. So I still think the players need to learn the ugly side of the game. Fred to me has been magnificent in the last couple of games.
Cool. So we're 20 minutes into the show. We'll take a little half-time break. Do you want to go and get some oranges, Mr. B? I'm going to chat to Kahinde about the same issue. Kahinde. So I want to the two philosophies that he's coming with. He's saying here he wants to win the ball back within 8 to 10 seconds of giving the ball away, and he also wants to get a shot once he regains the ball. He wants to get a shot off within 10 seconds. These are the drills that he's been trying to employ. He's done this at previous clubs. This seems to be his philosophy, the way he's going forward. Are you seeing this evidence on the pitch with Man United at the moment?
I don't think straight away, because it's only been within 3 games, but there's foundations to it, like you can see already. Like what Mr. B was saying about Fred, he's the perfect type of player that you would want for that sort of system if you want to win the ball quickly. But we do have, even though like I don't think people would think our players are right for the manager's system where the way he wants to play, because everyone thinks that we seem to have like these players that don't want to work, like Bruno and all things like that. But I do think that in terms of the counter attacking and getting a shot off, we've got perfect players for that, like Rashford, Sancho, Ronaldo. These guys are very good and quick on the counter attack. Greenwood. So we've got some players that can fit the system that he wants to play.
Okay, but so did you see us today, like regaining the ball and getting a shot off that quickly? Are you seeing that happen yet?
Not so much in some instances, but it's not going to come just overnight. It's too early. But
right,
you know, there was some foundations of what we're doing, but I don't think the manager would say that it's all there yet. I mean, he's even made criticisms to McTominay and Fred during last week about not playing those square passes. He wants them playing forward passes because he wants to install about getting the counter attack and getting that shot off. So it's not all there yet. I haven't seen all there yet.
So it's all right, like a manager come in and just change the formation, but it does take a while, you're saying, it to adapt to the refine to the little details that he wants from that formation. So getting the ball at your feet, playing it quickly, playing it forward. He says vertical, doesn't he? He says vertical rather than horizontal. He wants to play forward, play his feet, and everything else. So that means players maybe need to get fine-tuned with it. And because maybe we haven't had the training time to do that, maybe the games are sort of high training sessions, you know? Maybe he's using the games to employ as a training session to get this right. And I think we were more suited against Crystal Palace. I was a bit more I was happier with pressing them, especially having more pressure in their half. Today, less so. So I want to see progression in a way. I think maybe it's going to take a while, a bit longer than I originally thought to get the system going correctly. But I don't know what you guys in the comments are saying, man. But are you happy? Are you seeing progression here? I'm just going to run through a few things because we've got a few more comments coming in. Jackie, for example, she's saying, "Do you think within the next month Ralph will change personnel?" I think she's talking about players. We have a new manager with players not adapting, apart from Fred. Maybe changes are needed. It's a question mark. She's just asking, not making a statement. So, like we're saying, maybe the players need more time to adapt. It suits Fred's game. People are saying here on the panel, quite possibly. Anyone want to respond to that?
I'll respond. I think like when you want to play a particular formation, it's important that you have the right players to play that formation. Because if you don't have the right players to play the formation, then things are not going to work. So we've seen things already, little things like the fullbacks, for example. Now Telles and Dalot, they weren't getting any love under Oli. You know, they hardly getting any games. But already they've been playing quite a bit for this new manager. And because he obviously likes the way that they're able to go forward and things like that, because Dalot brings a lot of different qualities than Wan-Bissaka. Yeah. So we're seeing little things that, you know, that help him trying to install this philosophy, and it's to do with the players, you know. But I'll be interested to see in January, like, if he brings in, what type of players he brings in.
Just being a speculator, what sort of players, positions do you think would be under threat? What players would be under threat, and what sort of position? I know it's too early, but just from your observation at the moment, quickly, what would you say?
I definitely think a midfielder will be coming in. I think Fred.
For what one? The 2 6s or the 2 10s?
Not so much the 2 10s. I think the 2 6s.
Okay.
I just think someone that could do maybe. I mean, he's playing McTominay the deeper role, but there's probably someone who could do a bit more work than McTominay and win it back quicker. That the manager's looking at.
Here's another comment here from Christmas time with Vaughan, bath time with Vaughan. Wait him up. Welcome, man. How you doing? He says Sancho, Rashford, Bruno, and Ronaldo. So the 2 10s, the 2 9s were all pretty poor today. Everything he feels, you know. Do you want to respond to that, Mr. B? Do you agree?
We need a player who understands Ralph's system straight away. I don't think if we're going to push on, we can afford to have McTominay adapting or having Fred adapt. Well, Fred's adapted well. Having Bruno adapting, I don't think Bruno's adapted to the formation and the system yet, to be honest. So I think we need somebody who can guide the other players while they do until they get up to the level. I mean, you were talking about using games as training sessions to a certain extent. I understand what you mean by that. He hasn't had the time to implement his philosophy totally. We understand it talking, but until, you know, talk about like the flow. You see, like certain teams who have been playing systems for 3, 4, 5 months. They understand certain patterns of play. At the moment, I still think our players are stuck in that. Ollie's been there for 3 years. He had a system of play. I think the players are going out and forgetting to a certain extent the instructions that they've been given. Because a lot of time today, we're looking for the forward pass. I understand you want control of the ball and you don't want the opposition to have the ball, but from what we understood, he was a very forward playing manager. And I don't see us playing the ball forward enough. I would like to see the stats. I know Yank is a guy who understands, and Reese and a couple, but I just want to see more cohesion. And I don't think that's going to come right now. It's going to take a few months for it to adapt. We're winning in that time. If we keep winning the 1-0s, that's fine. We'll keep moving up the table, but there has to come a time where, look, he's here for 6 months. There has to come a time where that clicks and we actually see that in full flow. That's what I'm waiting for.
I think there's a comment earlier saying about the Norwich manager was tactically outclassing us today or something. What I did realise, what I respect him for, he sort of pumped the midfield with 5 guys. It looked like a 4-3-3 at the start, but he left Pookie up front. When we had the ball in defence and trying to bring it out, he sort of blocked off the passes into the 2 number 10s, and we found it really difficult to get through to them at times. And I think what all managers now going forward will try to intercept that ball in, because they know we're trying to play direct vertical balls. This is drilled into it. It's no secret, you know. So I think pumping the 5 in midfield, they're closing off the gaps into our Sancho and Rashford, Sancho and Bruno. And I thought that was very clever of the Dean Smith, you know. But moving on, just want to come to, don't forget, like and subscribe, guys. If you're watching now, please like. We've got 11 people watching. Let's get some likes up, please. Just want to ask now about the progress under Ralph. How would you score players' adaptation to the change out of 10? So say like out of 10, how would you score the players like 2-3 weeks in, their adaptation to the change? I'm going to say about a 5 so far. It's not great. It's taken a while, as you just mentioned, Mr. B, about the adaptation from Ollie. They're still in Ollie mode, and maybe some of them are in Mourinho mode as well. And also, what improvements have been made? Like you said, someone said in the comments about we would have lost this game 6 weeks ago. So score the players on how they've adapted to the system, their IQ, and it's also what improvements have you both seen being made? Kahinde, do you want to start with that, please?
I want to give the players like a 6 because we've got results. We haven't lost under Ralph so far. And what's the other question?
Okay, so I'm asking you to score the players adapting to the philosophy, and also what improvements compared to 6. So someone said 6 weeks ago we would have lost this game. And so what improvements have you seen since Ralph's come in?
I think more control over the game, a lot more composure from everyone, and that's what I'm getting at. Like less mistakes. We were making a lot of errors under Ollie. It felt like a bit of a panic, conceding silly goals. We conceded a bit of a soft goal at the midweek, giving the ball away just at the edge of the area. But there's been a lot more composure. It's like I feel a lot more confident watching us, and obviously the pressing as well. I was really impressed with that at Palace about keeping the ball in their half and everything else like that. So that's the improvements that I've seen.
Okay, Mr. B, how would you score the players? I gave them a 5. How they converted to this new system. Yeah, a 5. Just because it takes a while, I think, to really. Once it really clicks, we'll be winning. I can see us winning 3-4-0 games like today. So I'll give them a 5. And what would you score them out? How they have adapted, and also what improvements have we made since 6 weeks ago when we probably would have lost this game?
Well, definitely control. Definitely more of an understanding. If we look at maybe freeze frames under Ollie, especially defensively.
Yeah.
You know, we've had the memes, we've seen them in the groups where we've had Maguire here, Shaw there, Wan-Bissaka here, and Lindelof, whoever. At least now there seems to be, you take the overview, it's 4-2-2-2. Whether Sancho and Bruno are narrow or whether they're wide, it's still 4-2-2-2. So a formation understanding, an understanding where the players know straight away we are playing this formation. This is what the manager wants us to do. I don't think we're going to change from that. It might be a slight variation in regards to maybe the 2 number 10s maybe playing wider or playing more central, but I think the philosophy will actually stay the same. It might just be tweaked in certain things. So that part of it, the understanding part of it, with the control is going to come. As you said, everything takes time. It's going to come. And adaptability.
Out of 10. How do you think the players have adapted so far?
I'll be giving them a 6. I'll be giving them a 6. Yeah. Just because we haven't lost. We've kept the 2 clean sheets in the games, but we haven't lost since Ollie left. So is it the fact that Ollie's gone and they were listening to his mad tactics, or is it the fact that Rangnick's come in and he's told them this is what you do, so I think those sort of things take time. Adaptability, I will give them a 6, but I think certain players are stepping up to Ralph's plan, if you know what I mean. And look, bath time, Christmas time. I know you changed it seasonally. He's banned them on. Sancho, Telles, Dalot. See, I'm not going to have McTominay in there yet. I wouldn't agree with the McTominay part of that yet. You say adapted. We say adapted. Dalot and Telles have always played. That's the way that they actually play naturally. So have they actually adapted to the formation, or are they playing their natural game? A man like Fred is who I say is adapted, because I feel that he stepped up in the last 3-4 games. I've seen a different. He's still shit at passing. Let's not get it twisted. He still raced the ball. He still gets shoved off the ball, but he seems to be more. I don't know. I'm not sure free's the word in how he's playing, but he just seems to be. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is. He just seems to be he seems to be playing 30% better than he was playing under Ollie. Actually 40% better, because some of the time he was probably playing a -10. So he's probably playing 40-50% better than Ollie. And I think it's an understanding of his specific role. Because they're not being asked to be defensive midfielders, which they're not. They're being asked to play their natural box-to-box midfield, their natural 6s. So adaptability,
So 6 and 6 for Kinde. Kinde, just name a couple more players, or if you agree with what Chris was time and Vaughan's saying, name the players that you feel have adapted as well so far. Just, I know it's hard to sort of judge after a couple of weeks, but who do you think's adapting well to this sort of system?
Fred more so, mainly because I think Ollie is playing him out of position. Ollie is playing him too deep because he wasn't strong enough to play a proper deep number 6 role. and he's more free. Like at Shakhtar, he's more of a box-to-box guy, and he's got the legs to get up and down and pinch and press. So I think it suits his game better.
Sorry, Kinde, is that because we're playing more football in their half now that he's more effective?
Yeah, I think that suits his game. It gives an advantage to his game for his attributes.
So okay.
Yeah, and I obviously, like Mr. B was saying, Dalot and Telles are the type of players that Ralph wants as fullbacks in terms of what they offer. So I wouldn't say it's like adapting. It's just natural for them in that formation. But to be honest, with this sort of formation, I'm going to be honest here, and I'm going to say I need to really go back and look at his teams in the past, how they've played, his best 11s, what type of players were playing it behind those two strikers and things like that. And I would have to analyze and see, do we have the players to really play how he wants to play, because Sancho's a wide player, and Bruno's like he wants to be central, but I don't know if these guys are gonna really like someone like Bruno. Is he really gonna adapt to this role that he's doing at the moment?
I think. Well, is that a question? I don't think
players should be able to do that. I need to really go back and see how his teams have played before. Because some managers, I know how their teams have played before, like Ancelotti's team and things like that. And I'd have to really analyze it from then. But at the moment, I could just say Fred and the two fullbacks.
Okay. So no one's mentioned the strikers, because just for me, to say my piece on this. Okay. I think when he played at Red Bull, he had Werner, who's what his game is like. Yeah. He's quick, he's mobile, he's rapid, he can get move about, and he also played Poulsen, the big Dane, the mixed race guy, the big Dane, who's sort of like class him as a target man. But he does a lot of work. He's not like majorly skillful, but big, strong, and works hard. So those were the front two, and they were really effective. And obviously behind that, they were getting fed by the guy who moved from Red Bull to the Switzerland. Was he Switzerland? He went to Bayern Munich now. I can't remember his name. Fred is from Saragon. Fred has had previous purple patch before. A bold swap would be Donny for Scott to progress the ball better. I agree. Saragon, we're on the same page. I do think this is what I was saying. He played Mata and Donny the other day. It's just suggesting to me that he wants more ball players in there. It's all right being able to sort of get the ball and everything else. It's what you do with it. As we saw today, if teams come up against us, they can say, right, stop the ball getting into the two number 10s by blocking it all off. That's why you need good passes. And I think especially this is Fred, we can talk about. I'm not his biggest fan. But McTominay, for example, getting the ball at his feet, it looks like an effort for me. To me, when I'm watching him, it looks like an effort. He gets the ball at his feet. He won't play a left-footed pass. He hasn't got that sort of balance or confidence to play a left-footed pass. He runs with the ball too direct. So if he sees a man he wants to pass to, he will run towards him with the ball, mainly to get it, so close the gap. So say, at least I can reach the guy now with the passing. So he's just very one-dimensional. And I just find it frustrating that a professional player, maybe he should be a centre-back or something, because playing in midfield at top level, you need to have more than that. And I think that's why I prefer Donny, because Donny would get the ball and get out his feet. And people say, but Donny made a mistake the other day when we gave the ball away against Young Boys. But no, he got the ball, he's getting out his feet, he's passing it to other guys who should be professional enough. He put that in that case, he passed it to Wan-Bissaka, and maybe it's the wrong choice. But you're wearing a red shirt, it shouldn't matter. You should pass anybody. It should all have the confidence and the ability to get the ball, or at least, pick it up. But yeah, that's a good point by thing. And also Christmas time with Vaughan says Fred's playing the same as he did for Oli. The difference is the wide forwards are now helping out, in particular Sancho. Just to go on to this, my last point, because we're going to close up in a sec. I don't know who else noticed this, but we play a 4-2-2-2, obviously. We go 1-0 up, and we know that Norwich are going to be forced to come out at us now. What I noticed is that Ronaldo stayed up front. So we've gone from 4-2-2-2. Ronaldo stayed up front. Rashford came left midfield. Greenwood went right midfield. Bruno was playing in the 10. And then we had the two midfielders who were Mac Fred. So that's a clear change of system. And if anyone agrees with me, we noticed that. Can we agree? So are we saying when we go a goal down, we can actually change the system naturally to protect us and protect? So Rashford going left, obviously protecting the overlap and the doubling up on the fullbacks, that kind of thing. Did you see that? And do you think that was part of Ralph's strategy today, Mr. B?
Simple answer, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You agree?
I'll keep it simple.
Good thing? Is that a good thing?
Yeah. We've been starved of tactics on Monday for so long. It's nice to have an understanding of what or how our manager wants to play. That's what I'm looking forward to. And that's what I enjoy seeing at the moment. It's not quite working, but we understand the faults in it, if that makes sense. We know what the end game's supposed to be, and we can see how short we are, the level that we are away from it. They need you in there Monday, man. You've been calling Dallo, formation, switch, all of this stuff for so long. And I used to sit here and say, I used to laugh at you, but I think this guy's mad. Now he's calling 1-0, Dallo starting, Tales starting. I'll take my hand. I bow my head to your greatness.
It's prophetic, as we said. Not pathetic, prophetic. Yeah, I'm not going to be stitched up for Friday night shows. Yeah, and congratulations, by the way. I see you wearing your crown from last night, Mr. B. Kahinde. So did you see the change in shape when we went to go down to protect the lead?
Yeah,
and that's more control.
Definitely. Yeah, that's something I really did observe in the last 15 minutes or so. I've noticed that, okay, we're going back to this system. Rashford's getting a bit wider and all that, and I'm seeing the shape and the system, and I just think everything's going to come together soon. We're only going to get better, because at the moment I don't think we're playing spectacular, but I just think there's a lot better organisation, and that's what we were lacking under Oli. There wasn't there. If you don't have a real system play, there's no organisation, and organisation is the foundation to everything, to improving and winning. You know.
So we're going to wrap it up now, guys. Just quickly, I'm just going to respond to Christmas with Vaughan. He says he's asking me who spread the play the most today on Monday. In my opinion, it's got to be Fred and McTominay doing that role. They're the ones who are supposed to get the ball out and pop it. And when you say spread it, I think get it into the front four somehow. And that's what I was saying earlier. I don't think they have the ability. So I can't really answer that question, because, as I was saying earlier, McTominay, he will drive, dribble, run with the ball to get closer to the man he wants to deliver it to. Fred, as we know, when he gets the ball and tries to pop it, or 30, 40-yard passes, it's not going to happen, you know? So they should keep it short. So I don't know. I'm throwing that back to you, Christmas time with Vaughan. I think those two are supposed to do it, but I haven't seen the quality in them to do that. I would prefer to see a ball player in there who can do that quicker, sharper, and more effectively with more confidence. Anything else, guys, before we wrap up? Because it was a good win. We've got our 3 points. We're climbing. Who we got next?
Brentford Tuesday.
Who's next?
Brentford.
We're going to Brentford. Yeah. So as you know, the Man United agenda. Any London games, we're there. We're going to be giving interviews. Anyone who's in the London area wants to come down to Brentford and wants to be interviewed, come down, give us a shout, message us. We're going to be there, mic in hand, and talking to the fans and giving you the best interviews we can get. I'm doing a show tomorrow night with a journalist who's a Brentford fan. He's going to give us the insight into Brentford, what makes them so good, what makes them sustainable in the league, and what to look out for. So hopefully we get some sort of better insight into what they've got. I know you guys have all seen Brentford this year. They have been impressive. So it's not going to be an easy game. They're 1-0 down today. They came back to win 2-1. And they've got a lot of qualities, including their manager, who's obviously... Is the manager of Brentford? I know he's a friend of Klopp, but is he one of the students of Ralph?
I don't know.
He's German. Maybe I'm just typecasting. Stereotyping now. But yeah. So yeah, let's go onwards to Brentford on Tuesday, guys. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere down there. They got a new stadium, and I think if you're a Brentford fan, this would be the game that you would be the most looking forward to. Getting a team like Man United down there for that big game. So, do you want to say thanks, Mr. B? I know you've had a long session today. You were on last night receiving your award for Monday of the Week. You done a flipping 2-hour show with TalkMU covering the game, and thank you so much for joining me with your great insight into what you've seen today and your observations, man. God bless you. And to my little bro Kahinde, thanks for coming on. I know you've checked out the game and everything else, and yeah, thank you for your insights and observation. And obviously to the people that support the Man United agenda, the ones who thrown in the comments, everything else. Thank you so much. Don't forget to press the like button, guys. Comment after the show if you want to have a discussion. Crystal Time in Vaughan, if you want to have a discussion about this, about distribution of the ball, who is doing it the most, everything else. I need to think about that more, maybe. Put your answer in at the bottom of the show. When the show is finished, we can have a little conversation about that afterwards. Jackie, Brad Zaragon, Bath Time with Vaughan, all you guys, everyone who's tuned in today, Andy Newbury and Bees as well. We're out. It's been the Man United agenda. We've won again. We've got our 3 points and we're climbing up the table. Big up. Later.